Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How is everyone? Good evening and best wishes for all of us. The Honorable Mrs. Dr. Zahratun Nihaya, MSI, as Dean of the Faculty of Psychology, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. The Honorable Mrs. Dr. Yunita Failanisa, MPSI Psychologist, as Deputy Dean for Student Affairs, Alumni, and Cooperation of Faculty of Psychology, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. The Honorable Mrs. Rasny Zainal Abidin and Mrs. Dr. Rena Latifa, MPSI, as our special speakers today. My name is Karinta Elmira Amalia. It's a precious chance for me to be your master of ceremony in this special occasion, the international talk show with theme Psychology Healthcare Problems Expressing Emotions. First of all, let's thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us guidance, happiness, healthy, and mercy so we can attend and participate in this special event without any obstacles. Praise and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who had brought the path of light from the darkness in this life. I would like to welcome Mrs. Rasny Zainal Abidin and Mrs. Dr. Rena Latifa MVSI as our special speakers today, and also all of the audience. On this special evening, we have several agenda as follows. The first one is opening, the second one is reciting Holy Quran, singing song of Indonesia Raya, UIN hymn and psychology Mars, speech, talk show, and pray, and the last is closing. Yeah, and we also have media partners as follows: UIN Community, ILMPI, Info Mahasiswa Indonesia, Event Mahasiswa, Webana Psychology, Partners Netizen, Seminar Up, JTV KPI, Acara Kampus Official, and Seminar Hunter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this event by reciting Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We move to the next agenda is reciting Holy Quran, who will be recited by Taqiyuddin Asadullah. To Taqiyuddin Asadullah, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا وآتوا اليتامى أموالهم ولا تتبدلوا الخبيث بالطيب ولا تأكلوا أموالهم إلى أموالكم إنه كان حوبا كبيرا صدق الله العلي العظيم ثم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Kak Yurin, who has recited the Holy Quran. May Allah always bless us. Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Next agenda is Singing Song of Indonesia Raya, UI and Hymn and Psychology Mars. Rakyatku semuanya bangun. Indonesia Raya merdeka, tanahlah Indonesia Raya merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia. Ya Raya merdeka, merdeka, tanahku Ya Raya merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya. I'll move on to the next agenda. The next agenda is speech. The first speech will be delivered by Chief Executive of this event, who will be represented by Haura Ashari Anandita. For Haura, time is yours.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allahumma alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wabihi nasta'in ala umri dunya wa din wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa salim amma ba'du. I am here to represent the Chief Executive speech. First of all, let us praise and thank the presence of Allah the Almighty for the abundance of grace and the joy of life. Not forgetting the salawat and greetings we pour out to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has brought us out of the dark ages to the era of the brightly today, namely Islam. May we all get intersection on the end. Amin. Let me say welcome to the esteemed and honorable Dean of the Faculty of Psychology, Dr. Zahrotur Nihaya, MSc, the Honorable Third Vice Dean of the Faculty of Psychology, Dr. Yunita Failanisa, MSc, the Honorable President of the DEMA Faculty of Psychology, Haris Munandar, the Honorable Chairwoman of Discussion Community, Wilda Hairunisa. I also want to say welcome and thank you to Madam Rasny Zainal Abidin and Dr. Rena Latifa MC Psikolog for fulfilling the role as speaker for today's event and for sharing the knowledge that you have. I also like to thank the steering committee for all the hard work, commitment, and sacrifice that's been done to today's event. Thanks to the attendees who have taken the time to attend the event. I am sorry that I cannot participate in the event due to health reasons, though I know and believe that the event will run smoothly and productively. Today's event's purpose is to compare the existing cultures in Indonesia and Belgium, not to see whose culture is superior, but to see and identify its effect on expressing emotions. The purpose of doing so is to take advantage of every existing culture to create an ideal modern society with a healthy mental state of mind. With all that said, I hope the best for all of us in this world and the hereafter. That is all from me and thank you. Best regard, Muhammad Fauzan Fardan as Chief Executive. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Haura, for the speech. And the second speech is from Wilda Khairunisa as Chairwoman of Discussion Community. For Wilda Khairunisa, time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To the Honorable Dr. Zahrotur Nihaya, Master of Science as the Dean of Faculty of Psychology, UN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. To the Honorable Dr. Yunita Failanisa, Master of Psychology, Psychologist as the Third Vice Dean of Faculty of Psychology. To the Honorable Dr. Rena Latifa, Master of Psychology, Psychologist as the Head of Psychology Study Program. To the Honorable all of the Lecturer of Faculty of Psychology. To the Honorable Mr. Haris Munandar as the President DEMA of Faculty of Psychology. And all the participants and all the committee. First of all, I'd like to say my highest gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us blessing and mercy so we can get us into the occasion. Secondly, salawat and salam may always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for being here today. Thank you for attending this talk show. I'd like to say thank you for all the committee for your hard work so that this event can be held. And I'd like to say thank you for our guest speakers today, Madam Rasny Zainal Abidin and Dr. Rena Latifa, Master of Psychologist, for being willing to take the time and willing to share that knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Hilda Hirnisa giving you a warm welcome in the international talk show Psychology Healthcare Problem Expressing Emotions. My friend, it's really important for us to be more open about our feeling rather than harboring our emotions. So through this event, discussion community is here to explain further about that matters. So we hope that this event would gain us some knowledge and insight how to get better expressing emotion and provide us a new knowledge related to different perspective regarding the expression of emotion across different culture. I think it's enough for me. Welcome and enjoy the talk show. We hope you will find all what you have said. I thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the speech. And the next speech is from Mr. Haris Munandar as President of DEMA Faculty of Psychology, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. So the Honorable Mr. Haris Munandar, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Honorable Dean Faculty of Psychology, UIN Jakarta, Dr. Zahrotun Nihaya, Magister Science. Honorable Vice Dean Faculty of Psychology, UIN Jakarta, Dr. Yunita Failanisa, Magister Psikolog. Honorable to all speakers, Ms. Rasny, Zainal, Abidin, and also Dr. Rena Latifa, Magister Psycholog, and Honorable Chief of Discussion Committee, Ms. Wilda Khairunisa, and Honorable for all the guests and respectable all attendances of this event with my love. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank to God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us blessing and mercies so we can attend this meeting and this international talk show in a good and healthy conditions. And secondly, may salawat and salam are always giving to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam upon all of his families, companions, and followers until the end of time. Thank you so much to the all committee and all parties who have been doing this job very well in this event. And I'd like to say welcome to all participants or attendances of this event. We give our best regards from DEMA Fakultas Psikologi. Well, this event is international talk show and raises a very interesting them and title to be studied more deeply, which is about problem expressing emotions, where maybe for some people this is quite common and also a basic that is not too much more attention in our daily lives. Therefore, sometimes we got problem arise related to expressing this emotion. And today we will discuss further deeply related to the problem of expressing emotion, which can also be influenced by the culture in each country. We hope after participating in this event, we can find out and understanding the different among expressing emotion, other culture and countries, and we can overview other perspective relate to the form of emotional expression in the different country cultures. That's enough for me. Enjoy the international talk show and don't forget to write down the important things and not what material and knowledge we got today. So the knowledge we got today doesn't just disappear after this event. Accordingly, what is said by the Arabic proverb is al ilmu kasoidun wal kitabatu qaiduhu qayyudaka bil kibalil wathiqah. That's from me. Thanks a lot. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wallahu muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Haris Munandar, for the speech. And the last speech is from Mrs. Dr. Yunita Failanisa, Master of Psychology, Psychologist as Deputy Dean for Student Affairs, Alumni and Cooperations of Faculty of Psychology, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta, as well as officially opening this event. To the Honorable Mrs. Dr. Yunita Failanisa, MPSI, Psikolog, time is yours.
Thank you, Karinta. Is my voice clear? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. La haula wala quwata illa billah amma ba'du. Welcome. It's my pleasure to extend greetings and warm welcome to everyone attending in international webinar about psychology healthcare, problems expressing emotion. I'm here representing our Dean, Dr. Zahratun Nihaya. She has another meeting and she greets everyone here. Okay, experiencing and expressing emotions are integral in our life. But for many people, emotion remain mysterious, confusing, and difficult to express constructively. In the other hand, compared with other young adults, university students exhibit more mental health problems and consequent service needs. This is according to study of Wenzing 2016. But I hope you all attend this. It's wrong. There is no mental health problem. I hope. As a precursor to interventions aimed at increasing university student mental health, how to express our emotion is very important. So it's very lucky you all in here now and get beneficial tips and insight from our speakers today. I would like to welcome our first speaker here, Mrs. Rasny Zainal Abidin for Belgium. Thank you, Mrs. Rasny. She is an adolescent counselor in Belgium. The second speaker, our beloved lecturer, head of psychology department, Dr. Rena Latifa Psikolog. Thank you. I hope you enjoy in this event. Thank you so much, Mrs. Rasny and Ibu Rena, for your sharing with us today. I would like to commend the organizer of this event, discussion community, an LSO in Faculty of Psychology, for their hard work in putting together a good program for everyone here. Thank you, Wilda, Haura, Karinta Elmira, and team, all of you, for your smart effort. Barakallah. Please accept my best wishes for an enjoyable and beneficial event in Faculty of Psychology, Syarif Hidayatullah State Islamic University, Jakarta. Let's discussion community open doors to new experiences and new possibilities for you. Become more involved around the issues that matters. Bring back what you are learning to improve yourself and have an impact. Learning to experience and express your emotions is a lifelong process. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mrs. Dr. Rinita Pailanisa, Master of Psychologist, for this speech. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have entered the peak of this event, that is, the international talk show with our special speakers today, Mrs. Rasny Zainal Abidin and Mrs. Dr. Rena Latifa, Master of Psychology, Psychologist, and the talk show will be guided by our moderators, Fadel Wibowo. To Fadel Wibowo, time is yours.
Okay, you can hear me clearly, right? Okay, thank you, Karin, as the MC, for allowing me to lead the main session for the event today. Okay, so first of all, my name is Muhammad Fadil Aribowo as the moderator of this talk show. You can call me Fadel. So we're going to talk about the problems to express our emotions with our wonderful guests, wonderful speakers, Mrs. Surasni and Mrs. Rana Latifa. So what are we going to do is talking, obviously, Q&A with you guys and other stuff. So I want to give you guys a little introduction about the topic we're going to talk about today. So we live in a world we live in a society that has a lot of issues, start from global warming, social issues, to ourselves, even ourselves, human being. Moreover, our emotions. Many of us are unable to express our emotions clearly or naturally, and that was the problem. That's the negative, output. Because if we can express our emotions clearly, truly, we will not even live as individuals. And other things, from theoretical perspective, we knew that culture and environment that surrounds us, uh, and the country that we're living in, were affecting our way to express our emotions. Good for you to know about emotion itself. Emotion is a cognitive process, such as appraisal, assessment, and interpretation of an event or something. For example, I will give you some example that some related to you. When your friend has punched you in the face, you judge it or you interpret it as as an unforgivable act. So you get mad. It was an honest emotion from you. It was a good one. The problem is when the problem is probably when you punch them back, or yeah, the fight. Um, another example. This is a negative one. When and also relatable for us, when you got C on statistics subject, even though you were studying the night before, you were upset, but you don't show it. You just keep denying it or keep repress the emotion that you've had. That's the problem. That's the negative output, and that is the thing that we're gonna talk about today. Okay, so now currently I'm gonna introduce to you one of the incredible speakers to you, Mrs. Rasny Zainal Abidin. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about the background of her story. Back when she was still in Indonesia, she's Indonesian, also, from the name of Surasi Zainal Abidin, it's Indonesian name. Back when she was still in Indonesia, she pursued her undergraduate education at Syah Kuala University, Banda Aceh, majoring in civil engineering. I know what you're thinking, it's very far from a psychological kind of thing, but just keep listening. Moved to Belgium. She worked for several contractors because in Belgium, she is qualified enough to be an engineer. And sometime later, she looked at statistics or numbers or the field in that place, showing that suicide and depression rates were high in that place. So she takes some education for herself, school for the social worker, because she wants to make herself useful for the society. Now, currently, she is continuing her studies for, I will say something in Dutch, so please don't judge me and don't laugh at me. She is continuing her studies for contextuele and systemische counseling. I don't know what it is, so we're gonna ask her later. From that job, a counselor, she guides some refugees, children, or adolescents from age 16 to 25 who come to Belgium without some parents to live independently. Not just the psychological ways. She also helps the children in applicable ways, such as deciding the hobby, their home, social network, school or job, social relation, law, and etc. She works in organization called Minor Rendago under government control to help children and adolescents. Okay, that's all for the Mrs. Surasni. Move on to another beautiful speaker, Mrs. Rena Latifah. Okay, so for operator, can you help me to share the CV, please? Yeah. uh, So, okay, Mrs. Rena Latifah, Dr. Rena Latifah, a psychologist. So, from education part, back then in the year 2000, 2004, she pursued her undergraduate education at UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta, majoring in psychology. Right after that, just 1 year after that, she continued her studies for master degree, Master of Clinical Psychology, at the University of Indonesia. And then she got doctoral degree. She achieved doctoral degree in 2015. in Pajajaran University, Bandung. Okay, after that, she's got a lot of professional experiences. Many of it, yeah, she's got Indonesia. She's being part of Indonesian Psychologists Association, Indonesian Clinical Psychologists Association, and got a certificate professional coach and executive coach by ICF, and got a lot of things. Being a research consultant for at National Anti-Narcotics Agency and Ministry of Education. She also being a part of American Psychological Association, or APA, member of Division 36, Psychology of Religion. Yeah, that was a beautiful things to see. I'm really envious just by reading it. And currently, she is being a head of department psychology in UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. Okay, next to the next part, there is an international experiences. I'm sorry. Before, yeah, thank you. Okay, there is a lot of things. There are a lot of international conference from Hanoi, from um, Gdansk in Poland, Yokohama in Japan, and a lot of things to say. Yeah, there are a lot of research collaboration from another university, foreign university, University of Macau, Switzerland, Philippines, Vietnam, Australia, and any other university. Okay, move on. Bring it back to the next part. Yeah, there are a lot of publications. She published many journals that discuss various things. I see a lot of journals being published in 2020. Wow, she's being productive enough in 2020, 2019, and so on. I guess there are a lot of year also. And yeah, there are a lot of things. The effect of academic stress, emotional intelligence, academic self-concept, and social supports. Oh, really interesting part. Social anxiety on Instagram second account user, journals about the effect of parent-adolescent relationship, emotion regulation, and demographic factors to sibling relationship in adolescence. Wow, it was a really good thing to see it. I'm dying to read it later. Okay, we should move on to the next part. Next part again. Yeah. So she is got our editor reviewer experiences. There are a lot. Based on a she's review a lot of journals, Psychis Journal, Psychology Journal, Journal Taskia, Yarsi Journal, and Journal of Spirituality and Mental Health, and an article and many other things, even conference proceedings. And there is a list of copyright. Ya, bunga rampai psikologi positif, psikologi emosi. Wow. By that book, I know that we can see that it would be some she is very skilled enough to be talking about emotion. I hope that Mrs. Rena gonna hand me some books that she wrote. Just kidding. Okay. That's all for the introduction about the speaker. Anyway, let's move on to the main segment, the talk show. Okay, can you pin the speaker, please? Are you done? Pin the speaker. Oh, right. Okay. So okay. Maybe we should chit chat about a little thing. Greetings first. Hello, Mrs. Rasny. Hello, Mrs. Rena. Oh, I can I can hear your sound.
Hi, Fadel.
Hello.
Can
Uh,
you hear me?
yeah, I can,
Okay.
but your signal is getting, I guess, it worse. I can hear you clearly. Mrs. Rasny, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you to having me
Um.
here.
Yeah. Hogat Hadmija. Hogat Hadmija atau I just translate the Dutch way, but I don't know how to spell it right. So.
Who got that Matthew?
Oh, okay.
How are you doing? I'm fine, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. How is Belgium? How is Belgium?
I would like to say that thank you first to having me here, and I'm really exciting because I know I can learn also too much from you guys. And good morning from Belgium. This is the first spring day. I mean, it's officially it's already few weeks ago begin the spring, but Belgium is sometimes the weather many rains. Now it's the sunshine, beautiful weather, flowers, the birds singing. So good morning from Belgium to you all in Indonesia.
Okay, good morning to you. I guess that you're Aceh. Yeah, you're from Aceh, right? Yeah, I'm
Yes.
from Aceh too, but I can speak.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice to you.
yeah. My mother always told me about that. I'm from Aceh Besar, Aceh Kota. Okay.
Okay.
Mrs. Rena, Can you hear me? Can you speak clearly? Does the signal was already
Ya,
good?
halo. Sudah
Yeah.
terdengar kah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Udah terdengar.
Sorry, I'm inside my car since I'm in a traveling, so I have to do this meeting in my car. Sorry if there is a voices of the car machine or something like that. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Hi, Mrs. Rasny. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, Mrs. Rena, have a good traveling. Have a good. I hope that you're all right. Okay, I guess I'm gonna give you berikan komentar. Okay, I'm gonna talk to each of you, asking some questions, and you will answer me naturally. Okay. So before we started the real question, I would like to ask something to Mrs. Zorasni first, because I'm getting curious and everybody getting curious from the committee. Okay, related to your title, there are a lot of things. What is the meaning of context Begleiter and Fongshi Fang Autonom Wonen or Kleine Wonen Hand Begleiter? What is that? What is that? So because when I searched for it in the Google Translate, it was really far from psychological kind of things, and so what it is?
Okay, so I just want to give a little bit background about me. I'm living here in Belgium already 20 years. And the first years, of course, looking for job and what to do, because my background in Indonesia is in many branch. And finally, I study again. In Belgium, they have many possibility to study. You can study everything, and it's cheap to study. So I got a job in a construction company, and I did my job. I mean, I like my job, but when I live more and more in Belgium, I understand that many people are unhappy, and many when you look at the statistic, like in West Vlaanderen, in Belgium is it's too complicated to say now to you all, but we have like 11 million people who live in Belgium, and divided in 3 segments like Brussels, West Flanders, people who talk Dutch, and then Wallonie talk French. So when I read statistics and I read the papers, the newspapers, there are many issues like depression, suicide, like in West Flanders is the highest rank. 3 of people per day commit suicide. We are in Flanders just 6 million people. It's like the highest in Europe. So I ask myself, why? There are rich country here, many things, you can have everything, but why people still not happy? So it triggered me to study more, and I decided to leave my job and then to study social worker, because here in Belgium you cannot just spring from one job to another job without background, without study, without diploma. So I did it social worker, but I and then I have a job in my work right now in Minordako as contactbegeleider in functie van autonoom wonen, in Dutch version. We help refugees, young refugees, minor refugees who come to Belgium without parents. They have to follow many steps to get the asylum, right? So when they get the asylum, they have the right to live in Belgium. They have the right to bring their family here as a family reunification. So that's I will. Sorry, there's the post office. I will come back later.
Okay. A little interruption. So basically, Mrs. Rasny just telling us about the background of her, about the Belgium, about the life of Belgium, about the part of Belgium.
I'm sorry.
Okay. That's
so
no problem.
my job now is to help the young adults to build their life here in Belgium in every situation. Like we have to help them in the process to bring the family here, to find a house, to find a school, to find the hobbies, but also a little bit psychologist understanding. Sometimes I don't know anymore the word in English, like a backup or support. And I'm studying again now, the one you said, contextual and systemic counseling. So it's just like that.
Okay, that's that was a really kind of you to help the refugee to find their way, to live independently. So yeah, basically it means to help people who has difficulty or hurdle to a lot of things. About expressing emotions also, is there any correlation about that in your profession?
This is really interesting to talk about, because in my humble opinion, we have many differences, but also the same things, like because we are all human beings, but the culture, because they are here individualism, with us is collectivism. I'm talking because when I want to talk about my work, we goes with refugees. They have difficulties also with language because they are new here in Belgium. This is also the problem with expression of emotion, right? So because you cannot talk about specific things, about your feelings in the common language, in the shared language, is that then difficult to them to express it, and sometimes it become too much, and then it become anger, right? Aggression. But I have also experience, 4 years experience in what you call a center of well-being. Here in Belgium is so professional. We have many organizations to help people. Like you have, for example, a problem with money, issues with your kids, financial issue, like you have depression, you have addiction problem, many problems. You can go to many different organizations to help, because since 40, 50 years ago, Belgium become well-being state. So become really professional to get the help. So I have also worked as a stagiaire in Dutch, internship 4 years in that center. So people can come with every kind of reason to find help. And they're also interesting to share what I find out about for them, how it is for them, for the people here in Belgium, the Belgian, to share their emotion. Maybe it's later.
Wow, it was a really interesting topic. Because basically the government the government take control about the center of well-being, about the organization that cause up a lot of things like that. So yeah, the government it was really kind of people to see.
I think it's because this is like what I find out here, right? In Indonesia, the family value is really big. When we have a problem, we talk. At least when I was in Indonesia, we talk with our family. We talk our brother. We talk about it with our sister, right? But here in Belgium, it's so professional that when you have problems, you just talk with the professionals instead of talking with the family. So, but now the system is bena sorry, my Dutch, is almost the government almost cannot do it anymore, because it's too many money to go to the professional. So the government now see the value of the family. So the government want to bring the value of the family back to the system. So my job, once I have to ask to the client, can you bring someone in your family to the first meeting with us? That is really interesting to know, because not many people want to do it. So because my family doesn't have to know that I have a problem, because also about that there are when individualism really high. So individualism is also good, right? So because you can be how to say it, self-standard. You can be you can do whatever you want alone, instead of always asking help together. What I want to say is many people experience difficulties to bring their family members or to tell the other family members that they have a problem. So they just go to the professional to say that I have a problem. So for them, it's really to find to find help outside of the family system.
Okay, oh, that was a really tough question and tough answer also. Yeah, Indonesia has a lot of collectivism culture, a family-oriented one, but I think that the metropolitan in Jakarta example, maybe it's not really that way all the time. It's not really, maybe they're not always talking about their problems to their family, because they're not trust them either way. Yeah. So maybe we should move on to the next question. So this is for Mrs. Rena and Mrs. Rasni. Yeah, well, I think this is should go to Mrs. Rena first. So, Mrs. Rena, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So the question is from theoretical perspective or from your daily life, from the field.
Yes,
What?
Fadel, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So from theoretical perspective or from your daily life, from your from the field that you watch, what can we understood about expressing emotions? And is there always a motive behind every emotion that appear?
Okay. Uh, First, to understand this kind of concept, may I share my PowerPoint first to
Oh,
get more? Yes. Please, the committee, I have sent my PowerPoint to the committee. Maybe I can explain it with a picture inside the PowerPoint. Next. Next, this is my book that I've wrote. First, we have to understand that emotion actually no before this slide. Yes, since if we talk about emotion expression, we have to understand first what is emotion and what is emotion experience, and then emotion expression, and then there will be also emotion regulation. So this kind of term way to get more understanding in your side, in your viewpoint, in student viewpoint. I have to I try to explain it in short. First, I want to explain that emotion, it's contain our subjective experience, physiological response, and behavioral response. So in when we experience one kind of for example, we have in our school, and then there will be our physiological response, whether it's maybe we feel that we feel body. For instance, if the experience is in a negative way, for example, if we see a dog, so the physiological response, as we know that there will be some responses our body, such as heart rate increase, blood pressure, and so on. And also in this situation, then we can feel whether it's fear or anxiety or something. Next. So next slide, please. Yes, this is the theory of emotion as we know from the psychological theory. And then next slide. Yes, emotion is whether it's positive and negative experience. And then next, for the questions about the emotion expression, we have to understand first how the experience itself. So next, when we say about expression, we should understand first the experiencing of the emotion. That in the experiences, there should be a thought or cognitive process also. and then also there will be socio-cultural factors that influence our emotion, our expression level. So this experience, this perception, this cognitive process, which are next the cognitive process itself, which are contained of kind of cognitive. Next slide, please. Such as yes, there are automatic thought. For instance, we usually have automatic thoughts as I'm fat, or I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I'm not likable, something like that. It's automatically. And then we also have cognitive appraisal, we also have cognitive attribution, and then another one is social. Yes, next. Another one is social and cultural factors. Next. Social and cultural factors also expression of our emotion. For instance, if we say that next, there is an example that in Japanese, people, it's uncommon to express happiness or express. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yes, we can say, for instance, Japanese rarely show self-aggrandizing and negative emotion, but likely to show happiness as means of social glue. Jadi, so the culture itself, it's a very influence the expression of our emotion, as Miss Rasny said that in Belgium, maybe the refugees or person from another country, when come to one country, they have a different background, different cultural background, which is maybe in the Western country that expression your feeling is more common than in East or Eastern countries. So this will be a kind of difficulties in handling the emotion problems, especially in psychological term or in psychological area. Is that answer your question, Fadel? Please remind me whether the questions is like that or.
Yeah. Of course. It was really answering the question, and
Okay.
a lot of things to say. A lot of things to say about the theoretical perspective. About the subjective, about jam slang and automatic start, cognitive appraisal, and any other things. So, what I want to talk about, after all, the motive about the different culture is different culture expressing the same way.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
The question is for me. Still
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. Still for you, and after that will be for Mrs. Rasny.
Okay. Maybe we can back to the slide. There is a slide when I explain about the Japanese. Yes, there is actually a universal expression which every person, every individual in this world, in across country, across boundaries, have some universal expression. Maybe some of you have known who is he. For example, joy is universal. Sadness also expression is universal. contempt, fear is universal, but there is some kind of emotion that really cultural based, not universal. As I have researched about the emotion in Indonesia, I have some kind of focus group discussion to explore whether there is a differentiation between Javanese and Sumatrans in expression their emotion. Even the name of the emotion between Javanese and Sumatrans is very different. For example, in Javanese, there will be a set for Javanese is so many words, nelangsa, sedih, apa pokoknya at least I think almost 5 words for explains sad, but in Sumatrans people, especially in Minangkabau, it's less word, maybe only 1 or 2 word that can explain about sad. That's this kind of differentiation of the name differentiation also contribute to the expression, the differentiation of the expression. This is example from Indonesian people emotion. And if we talk about another country, there will be a broad differentiation in emotion based culture, I think.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Rena, for your comprehensive answer. No, it's an actual. It was actual process. Anyway, I'm gonna answer Mrs. Rasny after about this time. So you've been everywhere, yeah, Mrs. Rasny. You've been in Indonesia. You've been to Belgium, who has a different language also, different kind of expression, different kind of different way to express something. Yeah, and different language too. So based in your seeing based on the field, what's the difference? What's the difference between the way of expressing emotions between in the French language and the Dutch language? Maybe it's the question.
I'm not really sure what what the answer could be, but if you are just focused on the language, because it reminds me to the one of the axiom from Paul Wadlawicz. Did you ever heard?
Paul Ekman?
Paul Wadlawicz. So I don't know how to express, how to say his name. Paul Wadlawicz have 5 axioms about communication, and the first axiom is one cannot not communication. So like Mrs. Rena Latifah said just now about your mimic show your feeling, right? So this is like when you ask your friend, or you ask, are you okay? And she said, or he said, I'm okay, but you see in his body he's not okay. So this is what the Paul Wadlawicz said, you cannot not communicate. So this is general, I think. It's not related to the culture and to language, but it's really interesting to see this is from the background of individualism and what is the collectivism? Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I don't know. Some philosophers or psychologists also say that eyes or bodies are windows to the soul. That you can see their emotions, their what I say inner some inner body, inner mind, their mind about that. So maybe we should continue to our next questions. Maybe it's for Mrs. Rena. So this is a question. In order to be capable to express something, you must be able to know and understand what emotional expressions are you going to give in visible ways or invisible ways. Can you please tell me some form or aspect of the type of emotional expression? Well, Mrs. Rena, can you
Uh,
hear me? Yeah. Is actually
I don't really get
the
what
question?
what you mean by emotional expression. Explain more.
Yeah. A type of emotion expression about it's only about joy, about anger or something like Mrs. Rasny talked about before, about when you see someone who said I'm okay, but not when you see his visible body, his body moves or something like that. He's not really okay. That's the kind of
So
emotional
the
expressions
question.
that I.
Mm-mm. So the questions is
Uh, can you please tell me some form or aspect of the type? It's actually. I think you've been
okay.
answered it before in um, directly and
Positive and negative way.
yeah.
Okay, maybe you mean that when there is two kind of emotion experience, that we experience positive emotion and we experience negative emotion. In that way, we also have how to express the positive emotion in a positive way, and how to express the negative emotion in the positive way. That's the ideal one, but the limitation or the someone that have difficulties in emotion expression, there'll be difficulties in expressing the negative emotion in the positive way, and also might be someone who difficult in expressing positive emotion. Uh, for instance, in some tribes or some country, they might be uncommon to express their positive emotion, since no cultural in cultural context, they not allow to express their positive emotion. This kind of difficulties also a kind of difficulties in emotion expression. And then the third one is the kind of have you heard about the alexithymia? Alexithymia is the difficulties in my PowerPoint. I have mentioned about the alexithymia. Alexithymia is difficulty in experiencing and expressing and describing emotional responses. This usually related to the brain damage or psychological problems such as trauma, depression, or autism. This is need psychotherapy process to cure.
Wow. Okay. So there are definition of it. Yeah. So there are a thing to apa to definition about that alexithymia, difficulty to express emotion and about. So I'm gonna ask to Mrs. Rasny right now. So in the field, in your profession, is there any of your refugees or client or anything has some difficulty like that? Tell me a story about that. Can you tell me a story about that?
Uh, yeah, of course. Yeah, because they are forced to refuge to run away from their village, from their country, because the war and violence, and they have sometimes they are separated with their parents without having saying goodbye. So I have my client, one of my client, just ran away and brought by another adult from his village after a bomb to finally to Greek, and then after months end up in Belgium. So he's been here already 5 years. He have never seen his youngest sister born. And there were my clients were about 14 years old when 13 14 years old when they separated from their family, and in this age you have puberty, you have I mean it's really important to have a good warm basic to be able to grow, to be able to develop your emotions, but they don't have it. They just have to fly away, to go away from their family, and then in the process when they came to Belgium, it took them months, and then they are accompanied by smuggler. What is smuggler? People who bring them from one to one with the higher. I will use Google Translate. Smuggler is smuggler, right? They have to pay much. They have sometimes they get abused. Many things happen during that period because they don't have any adult to take care of them. They have to take care of themselves. So it's many things for a kid. That is, they are kids, right? To facing that kind of situation is really difficult. And then when they are here in Belgium, their mind think, wow, finally I'm here. But there is just a beginning to another stressful period, right? Because they need to go to study, to go to school, because it's Belgium is really care about the right of the children. They have to study, they have to get education until they are 18. They have this, they have that, they have many responsibility also. So it's not just like being in Belgium and then finally I can now rest, somebody can take care of me. No, because they need also they have a for they have for the government should to give them cast. What is for is like guardians, right? The guardians, legal guardians, to help them. But it doesn't mean that the guardian also want to can take care of them, of the child, emotionally. For the function of the job of the guardian, legal guardian, is just to make sure that everything's about paperwork is okay. Like when they come here, they have to ask asylum, and this can take 2 years. So it's really stressful to be in their position. And then not to mention that they are in puberty, they are they are falling in love, there are many things happen. But in that situation, it's not so easy to just say what you want to say, to express what your feeling is. Many things can be struggle, block. Yeah, I don't know, is that Netherlands word or Dutch word? Sorry, English word. I'm sorry, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. So it's so sad to know a lot of people, a lot of children um, do being that place, being that kind of situation, stressful and other things in their poverty. So so is there any survivors, refugee that uh, not not capable, doesn't capable to express these feelings about express their feelings until a late age? Is there any of that refugee?
So what me and my team doing now is we have like CBAW, an individual begeleiding, like a personal client. Like my client, 16 years old, can also rent a student room, and then from there I teach them how it is to live in Belgium, how to deal with this, how to deal with that. But we have also a house. We run the house with 4 young adults, yeah, and they can there learn how to in a small micro context, how to live with somebody else in Belgium, but it's only with 4. So we go as begeleider, we go every day to there to hear. We have meetings. We call it circle, like everyone sit in the circle, and then there is a method to have conversation with each other. So in this context, they learn how to live together with somebody else in the small context, so that after that they can go themselves, find a studio to live there, and then facing the real world. So I mean, we learn also step by step, because this is a huge difference for them. Like, for example, how to go to the doctor if you sick. Maybe in Indonesia is different, but here you have to do many things. Some more things is digital, right? So it's really difficult. Sometimes people experience sickness because it's not the sickness itself, but because of the stress, to not knowing what to do, to not too many things. Like a refugee from Syria said, in his village, he just called the doctor, and the doctor said, if you are the doctor doesn't have to see him, but the doctor described something, and then he can go to the apotheke, and then he can get the medicine. But here not. Here is, you have to do this, you have to do that. Many structure, many
Step.
yes, and this is sometimes really frustration. And
Okay.
about, yeah,
there's a lot of differences between about the regulation, yeah, about in Indonesia, about the in Belgium. So okay, we move on to the next question. Okay, for Mrs. Rena, you're still there, right? Okay. So
Mm.
we we hear about those forms or types in emotional expressions about, and each person must be diverse, must be different in expressing emotion. Maybe you when you're angry, you punch the wall, and maybe me maybe when I'm get angry, I got mad and punch people or something like that. I don't know. So it get diverse. So how do we find out? How do we realize or understand we have good way to or a bad way to express our emotions, and how to manage that to be a good one, to be yeah.
Okay.
You
I
can
think the good one.
you can you can tell us about in daily life or something about the story of people also. Okay.
I think when the question is when we know the expression is the good one, of course we can know it from the response from others, respond from the others. When others say where when others no problem, or they even when they feel comfortable with our expression, it means that that's a kind of adaptive type of expression, emotion expression, when there is no kind of objection, or there is no they not angry to you, or they feel secure with you with your expression. It means that your expression must be the good one, and they feel satisfied with your style of expression. And vice versa, when will others when others feel objection, or feel that uncomfortable with your emotion expression, it means that your emotion expression is bad or negative. You have to manage it properly, and try to learn how to manage your emotion properly, manage your emotion expression properly. So it others reaction from your, and of course when you feel comfortable or feel satisfied after you express one emotion, and you feel more healthy, more higher in psychological well-being. I think it's a kind of a good kind of emotion expression. So but if you have complaint from others related to your expression, that means that you have to take a look at again about your way of expression. uh, and then when the question is about what is the second question? I forgot. uh, can you repeat again, Fadel? I'm sorry, I don't take
Yeah.
notes.
So what my question is, how do we find
Oh,
out
how to regulate it? Yeah,
yeah
how to learn to express
manage,
the
yeah
adaptive one.
yeah
How to explain my first slide at the first session. When you one emotion, that's your brain, for example, appraisal, cognitive appraisal. Attribution is related to your evaluation of others' behavior. for example, you will respond to one behavior, whether you will angry or you will, whether your anger you will express it in adaptive way or in non-adaptive way. It is depend on how you attribute or how you evaluate others behavior. And then there's also a mix with the cognitive appraisal, and then automatic thought, or is there any traumatic problem in your history of life? If there is an intersection between that kind of cognition process, so there will be there will there will menentukan apa ya? Kok saya lupa. They will so your emotion expression will depend on that kind of process in your cognition. And then also how whether your brain is healthy or not. It depends whether you have used substance abuse or something like that, or have a brain injury, or it is also influence a kind of expression, a kind of how you express your emotion. And then how to manage it, of course, you can try to when we use cognitive therapy, of course we can say that you can evaluate how the way of thinking, the way of thinking of others behavior to. And then since there is a connection, when the problem is related to you have to self first, so that you can way to express the healthy way to express the emotion or adaptive way of emotion. It depends of the what is the main problem of the background. Take psychological thing, or there is not happening. So every their emotion adaptively. I think so, like that. Please, Fadel. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your signal is really unstable back then, but it's all right. There's a lot of things
Okay.
to hear also. There are a lot of things to how to manage. Start from the evaluation to identification about ourselves and any other things. So I got a question, a lot of question um, about the emotional way, about the manage. Oh yeah, about the internet ways. And based on what I see in Twitter, Instagram, or something like that, people usually tell them express their anger through social media and other things, or maybe sadness through social media and other things like that. And is there a good way? Is it a normal way to express? Is there is it a is it a fine way to know? Is it a fine way to understanding our emotion also? Uh,
The question are for me
yeah,
or Miss Rasni?
for Mrs. Rena. After this, we will be moved to Mrs. Rena.
Okay. Actually, if the expression is acceptable or adaptive in adaptive way and doesn't make other uncomfortable, and then they feel they can accept your expression. I think it's acceptable if we may express our emotion in social media, since the world in since pandemic, since everything should be done by online system, and then the kind of activity that we held is usually in email, in social media. I think it's okay we express it in social media, but we have to concern to others psychological well-being. And one thing is, as long as we honest or genuine to ourselves, not becoming a manipulative person in social media. I mean that you have a different kind of face. In real life you have a type A face, and then in social media you have type B face. Then there will be a next problem, next psychological problems. You have to be honest and genuine, representing yourself, representing your expression in social media. Okay, is that clear, Fadel?
Yeah, is it? It was really clear for us to know about the dynamics in our pandemics and other things about to express our emotions. So okay, we move on to the next question. Maybe this is the last question. So for Miss by me, maybe later will be from our friends from different. So for Mrs. Rasny, how important emotional expression for our mental health? Can you can you elaborate it?
I think that's why we are here, right? So it's really important. But I'm interesting to talk about what we can do as you are the future psychologists in our work to help people with that issues. So when I studied social worker, we have we get an information about what is it for you. Say like you are the client, so you are not the psychologist. What is for you important to have a good feeling that you are being helped, you are being listened? What is for you an ideal psychologist or therapist? So most of the time people really concerned about the person self. It's not the method they use, it's not the background, it's not the but just you and your client. So if you are just looking at your what is that watch, uh, at your watch at any time during the conversation, the your client will need, you will not feel have a feeling that you are listened. So I just want to express that again, that is really important that you, the guys who more have the power to have a succeed talk or succeed conversation with your client. You know, and you understand what I want to say?
Yeah, yeah. I understand about what
So
you're saying.
it's really important to people to express their feeling, to have but we have also to provide the circumstances, the secure time and secure place to be able to talk. So when somebody said, I don't know, about something is you will not done, and then you say, so you did that, so you just, so the way that you handle it. So I will give my recent experience. My client want to talk about sex, about what is secure sex. So I'm a Muslim and he is a Muslim. So he doesn't have parents anymore. So when I was a little bit shocked, but how I deal with myself about that situation is really important to this person, specific person, so he can ask what he want to ask. If he doesn't have this conversation, he will just keep thinking by himself. I don't know, maybe it's more dangerous for him to find another information about sex than to talk with me. So it's like they just, we are all human beings. We have also our feelings, our norm, our background, our experience. It's really matters in that our relationship with our client, right? So okay, maybe something happens, but we can also come back to that with a better way. I don't know if I can explain it correctly, but I just want to express how important it is to be a person who reliable is.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your answer. It was really touching too for me. Okay. I think that's the last question for me, and that would be a question from the other guys, from our friend, from the participant. So for all the participants who wanted to questioning something, who asking something, please raise your hand and I will choose you. So is there anyone who want to ask? Okay, maybe I like to give it a try because baru menunggu ya.
Maybe can I follow up your question before about social media? Because
Okay.
this one is really interesting, because in Belgium, when people say something in their social media, I'm sure that they are not more, I mean, yeah, of course I cannot say it generally, yeah, but people here just aware to one things: is it legal what they do, or is it not legal? So what the law said about it. So when you were angry, you aren't thinking about what other people might say to you, but thinking, am I commit the crime? Am I give hate speech? But or this is my free expression to say my point of view. So the really important is what the law said. It's not more concerned about what the people said. I mean, this is, I think, concern to individualism and collectivism.
Okay. So that's a lot of interesting way to say about the Belgium culture as well, yeah. So I
Iya.
think there are a lot
Kayaknya
there
orang
are
Indonesia seperti itu ya, Bu.
Yeah, I'm thinking also like that.
okay. I think there is some question from Daima. Can you hear me? Can you open your mic?
Yes, thank you, Fadel. I want to ask that. I think a lot of my friend who is a man tends to have a difficulty in expressing their emotions, and I want to know how to prevent this and make them understand that it is okay for them to express their emotions. Since our society taught us that it is not okay for a man to express that in front of people. That's the question. I'm very curious about that. Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Rena, are you there? She's disappeared. I guess she is disappearing. So, Mrs. Rasny, if you can answer it, just answer it about it.
This is also about in Dutch we call it waarden en normen. Like what is your value, what you get from your family, from your education, from your welcome back, Mrs. Rena. So can you I'm just about answering the question of the girl. I don't know her name anymore, but what was the question again about a young man of a man who expressed their feeling and it's not okay, something like that?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
about that.
So I was talking about this is about waarden en normen in Dutch, like the value of your family, your value, your upbringing, your family. If I mean, it's not like that all, right? It's not all the men have difficulties or say that I don't want to express my feeling because I'm a man. It's more how he get it from his family. Because here in Belgium, I'm not really see that this is an issue about men say what they say. I'm not sure because this is my just personal experience. I don't read any research or something like that. Yeah, but how to help a man who have that feeling and say it is okay? I think come back again to what I said before. We as a social worker or a psychologist or a therapist have to make that not only in our professional career but also in our community, that we have the responsibility to give the possibility to people to invite people to talk about their emotion as the step by step, little by little.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Surasni. Mrs. Rena, do you want to keep it straight again? Do you want to speak more about the answer about the question?
Halo?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
the
hear you.
question, I didn't get question. Please repeat the question, please.
I'm gonna so Daima think that a lot of her friend who is a man tends to have a difficulty in expressing their emotions, and she wanted to know how to prevent this and make them understand that it is okay for them to express their emotion, since our society taught us that it's not okay for a man to express that in front of people.
So the
That's the question.
question, how
Uh,
to change the man? The
yeah,
question, what is the question?
yeah, how to change the perception about that. So
Okay.
the man can express their emotion truly, naturally.
Okay. Uh, the important thing is when we cannot change others, we can change our own perception. So, how to change others' behavior or others' perception? It takes time, it takes energy and persuasive way, and we have to communicate frequently with this person personally to know what is behind the decision of this man not to express the emotion freely, or not want to express the emotion as others express their emotion. uh, so it's kind of support that we can give to this person. Maybe he have a kind of background that we don't know, or kind of mindset or cultural mindset that we cannot change it with only one night, or we can change it as easily as that. So if our effort has maximum effort to help, especially when he is not seeking help, or he think that this kind of behavior is okay, and no problem with himself or herself. So I think we can say that this decision is wrong, or not suitable. So we have to analyze first what is behind, what is the background of the decision, or the style of this man. And then as I said before, that when we cannot change it as fast as we can, or when we cannot change other, we can change our perception to this situation or to this person. Yes. So it can be more healthy relation. So we have no negative judgment also to this person. Why? Since that maybe he cannot express it. Is it a choice from his own choices, or it's kind of psychological problem behind? So we have to analyze first, so that we can give a kind of help, and especially if he says that he need help, but if he didn't need help, maybe it seems not really easy to move to the step to help him if he himself not asking for help, or he don't want to change the behavior. So you as a friend maybe can change your own perception to this man or this person.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Rena Latifa. They might also understand. Okay. So, is there anyone who wants to asking something? Please raise your hand. If there is no, I want to ask a question. If there is, I think. Septian, you want to asking some question? I can hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I would like to ask a question. So, I know that it is important. Oh, yeah, let me introduce myself first. My name is Septian Prawisya Putra from Unisula University, graduate student, undergraduate student. And my question is, yeah, actually similar with the previous one. So as a man, that we tend to not to feel our emotion, right? So, uh, and well, I am a very emotional person. So whenever I am pent up with some kind of strong negative energy or emotion, I tend to punch something like the floor or the wall. And I do realize that that's not really a helpful way to express emotion, as I can injure myself. So my question is, well, I have been writing journal daily to manage my thoughts and feelings. Uh, is that enough, or is there another way that I can practice in order to express my emotions better? So, whenever I'm angry, I like, oh, I am angry, so I'm not. It's like I'm not being taken by my emotions, so I'm not running away from that. Is that good enough, or is there any way that I can manage my emotions better? Thank you very much. Thank you kindly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Septian. Maybe Mrs. Rasni wants to answer it first.
Um, so before you punch the other person, there is some thought process, right? So it's really interesting to know. It's like a slow motion process. What happened in your head before it does, before you punch other person? So you know for yourself that, oh, this is the limit. If this is over the limit, I will punch that person. So you have to know yourself. You have to do the exercise in thinking when it is for you safe to just move back or something like that, and then to be able to communicate to the other person. So this is my discussion today. For me right now is enough, um, and we will talk it later, something like that. Uh, this is what I'm thinking. Just like how to manage your anger, but you have the right to say what you want to say, and this is for me important to be able to say to whom what you want to say. Uh, um, yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, maybe Mrs. Rena can fill it out, because what I was thinking is just before you punch somebody else, you have a thought process, and you have to know what was in your mind and what you need to not to punch other person. So you have to say to be able to say what you need. So like uh, we I learned about the verbinden komunikasi. Verbinden komunikasi is just to say what you want to say with a way that is acceptable for everyone, not aggressive. So sometimes it's just feeling so many things here, but how it is to communicate it the way safe for everyone, the way acceptable for everyone, and the way that you also get to say it. I think it's like that.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Rena. Do you want to give a little a few of answering to take some notes? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One thing that we should understand, the way that we express our emotion is a kind of habituation, or is a kind of repeated, always we do it even in our whole lifetime. So this habituation should be not really easy to to change from bad habit to the good one. So in psychology, we can go to the support group, like a support group anger management support group. You can find it in internet easily, in internationally, or maybe in Indonesia. I don't know whether there is a kind of support group for anger management support group therapy, or something like how to relaxation technique, how to train yourself to be relaxed. The explanation from Mrs. Rasny, I think it's related to the our habit in respond stimulus with very relaxed or not reactive in negative way. It's depend on our habit. So you have to train your relaxation scheme in your brain. So whatever the situation, you can accept it as a cool man, as a positive stimulus. So you cannot easily react in negative way. This should be trained with the kind of maybe meditation in Islam, maybe zikir and relaxation technique, which you can find it in App Store. Right now, we can find it so many relaxation apps that can make our brain also more calm and easily understand others, easily understand what it's happened in our outside world. So whenever it comes the negative stimulus that can make us angry or make us sad, fear or anxiety, we can stay calm and confidence to face this person or to face this situation. And then so this should become your habit, should become your daily activity or your daily needs. So you can react positively to every kind of stimulus in your life. And then maybe you can also engage in kind of creative arts, which is like musical or painting, or you said that you writing or something like that. So you can release your bad energy to the positive one. So your bad energy or your negative energy should be decreased, and then you only have the good ones to face any kind of situation. I think that's all, Padel. Thank you for the questions.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Thank you so much for the answer and the questions also. Sepian is already answer your question, right? Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's all for today. I'm gonna give you guys a little conclusion, a big conclusion about talk show. So there is there is a differences, a kind of differences from both country, Belgium, and there are a lot of problems too. Belgium is kind of individualism kind of thing, and there are a lot of problems too, like language and aggression and their expression emotion about that, because the refugee just from other countries, from Syria and other things, and they got a lot of center of well-being, kind of center of well-being, a kind of organization for people who live there, and yeah, a lot of organization. And Indonesia claims to be a collectivism one, a collectivism that family oriented, that can be open up, yeah, their expression to their family member. But Belgium is not really individualist one, so they got really take a step forward to professional directly. So Mrs. Renat talk about a lot of emotions in theoretical perspective, like a key element of emotions about subjective experience, physiological response, and behavioral response. And subjective experience is about the cognitive process, and about social cultural is also a big affecting one to our emotion system, about our cognitive system also. There are a lot of things to say, automatic thought and cognitive appraisals and many other things. And about the research also, facial expressions for various experience are universal for of the all of the human beings that live in here. And there is a difference between Java and Sumatra about emotion also, and even the language that they are going to say about the emotions. Yeah. So Mrs. Rena also talk about alexithymia, and you can search it for later. So it is the difficulty to express or the understanding to know emotion, and it was maybe because about brand image or about the abusive experience back then or something like that. Okay, maybe that's a few about the conclusion that I want to talk about, that I want to share with you guys. And we are on top of the event, so I think that's all for today. That's all for the talk and Q&A session with me. So thank you so much, Mrs. Rasni, and thank you so much for Mrs. Rena for sharing valuable knowledge and your experience to all of us. I will remember it. I will remember it, and I'm gonna tell to my grandchild about it. I hope so. So
Thank you
okay,
for
just
having me.
joking. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Okay, I guess thank you for your time. Sorry if there is a word that offends you guys. I give it back to the MC.
Okay, thank you, Fadal. And also, thank you so much to our great speakers today, Mrs. Rasni and Mrs. Dr. Rena Latifa, for the new insight and knowledge about psychology healthcare. Hopefully, it can be useful for all of us, inshallah. I mean, yeah. Well, before we get to the end of this event, we have a documentation time first. So, to all of the audience, would you please to turn on your camera, and to the operators, please give us an instruction like one, two, three, something like that. Okay. Yeah. Maybe the operators, can you give us instructions? Maybe I will give the instructions. Yeah. Okay. One, two, three. Once more. One, two, three. Is it done? The operators. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, sorry. The last agenda is pray together, and the pray will be guided by Diwan Hadianto. So Diwan Hadianto, time is yours.
Very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hamda syakirin, hamdan naimin, hamda yu'afi ni'matahu wa yukafi majidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li wajhikal karim wa adhibi sultanik. Allahumma la sahlan illa ma ja'alahu sahlan. Allahumma aftah alaina abwabal khairi wa abwabal barakati wa abwabal ni'mati wa abwabal rizki wa abwabal quwati wa abwabal sihati wa abwabal salamati birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma inni a'udzubika minal hammi wal hazn wa a'udzubika minal ajji wal kasal. Rabbana afrigh alaina sabra wa thabbit aqdamana Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Nasrul ijabah al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir
Amin, 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 ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Diwan. And finally, we come to the end of this event. And to close this event, let's read Alhamdulillah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. And also thank you so much for all of the media partners in this event as follows: UIN Community, IAMPI, Info Mahasiswa Indonesia, Event Mahasiswa, Webinar Psychology, Seminar Out, Partner Netizen, JTV KPI, Acara Kampus Official, and Seminar Hunter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am Karinta Elmira Amalia as Master of Ceremony in this event. Excuse myself. Thank you very much for all of your good attention. I'm so sorry for all of my mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you in the next
Waalaikumsalam
event.
warahmatullahi
Bye.
wabarakatuh.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Mrs.
Thank you.
Rasny.
Bye. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Thank
Zainal.
you,
Thank
Sister.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Rasni. Padel, thank you.
Thank you.